Now then, welcome to another video. In this video, I want to talk to you about how to set up your GoPros. Because to be honest, a lot of your onboard footage on track days and stuff, it's pretty rubbish, right? A lot of it's kind of rubbish. And I know you want to make it better, so that's why you're watching this video. Yeah, you want to make it better, or maybe your friends, maybe you've got friends who need to know the secret. What's the secret? It's exposure. It's always been exposure with the man on the moon kind of thing, the moon astronaut thing. It's always been exposure, okay? Not white balance, not spot meters. Ignore all of that. Set your exposure and you'll have a good time, okay? To me, these days, that's the most important thing you can set on any camera when you're doing onboard footage. The cameras these days, they'll do everything else for you. Just set the exposure. And the reason you need to set the exposure is your cameras, as clever as what they are, they don't know if you want to focus here or focus there. Right, that's where the old spot meter used to come into it, right? But no, just set the exposure. You don't want it to look like this, do you? You don't want it all washed out. Oh, I can see the steering wheel good, but can't really see what's going on there. You don't want it too dark. You don't want it too dark. Oh, I can kind of see what's going on outside, but I can barely see the steering wheel. You want to try and find a balance, and usually that balance is achieved by running a negative exposure setting. So how do I set the exposure? I'll show you quickly. Settings, resolution, all that is pretty much personal preference. I like to record in 4K, and do not ever turn stability on. The hyper smooth they call it. When it's in the car, it wants to be static. How do I set exposure? Just go into your settings like this. Okay, go into the settings. We can set resolution, lens, hyper smooth off, right? That's the speed. Hyper smooth off, right? And I'm going to scroll down near the bottom. I'm going to see this EV comp there. You see it's on -1. That's where I start. Now it's getting a bit dusky outside, so I might change that to -0.5. We'll see. Let's go for a little drive and see how that looks. So I'm going to mount the camera just here, right? Right, so this is with the camera at the default exposure settings, right? Doesn't look terrible by any means because I've got the camera mounted in a decent place, and this is another rule, another golden rule: mount the camera eye level in the middle of the car if you can. These headrest mounts are good. There's all sorts of different GoPro mounts you can get. I recommend this one. That's the one I recommend for your roll cages. There's nothing better. This was actually recommended to me by someone who works at Top Gear and watches these videos, so clearly a decent man, okay? Clearly a pan of ice, it's called. Pan of ice. Go. This is the best roll cage mount you can buy. Right, we're back to running -2 now. This is the lowest you can go on a GoPro. Look, it just looks so cinematic and lovely. Maybe it's not the look you're going for. Maybe you want to go a bit higher than that. Another golden rule: turn hyper smooth off, right? Turn it off. The stability, turn it off. There's only one reason why you might have that on, and that's if the camera mount's really flippy floppy, really flippy floppy. If you've got it mounted good, I mean, this is not even that good, but if you've got it mounted good, turn stability off. It'll look way better. We don't want this gyro thing. Good for vlogging, good for skiing, bad for driving. Anyway, it's about to get pretty dark, and there's some nice roads up here. Shut the fuck. You might have heard people talk about spot metering before, right? GoPro realised that's just a good thing anyway, and it just does it by default now, as it should, as every camera does pretty much anyway, right? So you don't have to faff about with that. If you've got your camera mounted properly at eye level, right, and it's facing out of the windscreen at a nice level, it'll do all that anyway. And even with the exposure too high, it probably won't look that bad. what the exposure compensation does, it kind of talks to the spot metering, right? Because the spot metering is already set in the exposure, and that is just kind of a bias either way, whether we want a bit brighter or darker. And most of the time, 99% of the time, you're gonna want it darker. It just looks that much bit better. We're about to go through an area now which is quite kind of dark from the trees. So now the exposure compensation might look a little bit darker, right? But I think it just looks a little bit more kind of cinematic. Looks a bit more like you've put some thought into the video. Overexposed videos, you can't get, underexposed, you can't get them back either. But in my honest opinion, your videos are going to look better if you're going to pick underexposed or overexposed. I would pick underexposed all day. Right, well, I hope that's been a useful video for you, right? I had a bit of a thought then as I was driving. Perhaps the secret for me is this exposure. It's because I'm mounting it at eye level. I think that's a really important thing, right? If you don't want the GoPro to overexpose the interior so you can only see the interior on your onboard footage, then you need to kind of mount it in a way so that it can see the exterior, yeah? Got a few notes as well on my phone, some advanced tips for you, okay? Don't touch any of the other settings, just leave them. Turn the stability off, right? If you can't mount it hard, like hardish like that, if you can't mount it stiff, rigid, then focus on that. Don't just use the stability. Having a statically mounted camera and then turning on the stability control, it loses so much drama, so much action, so much of the feeling of what a car is when you're trying to get a feel for a car through a video, but you've got the stability hyper smooth stuff turned on. It just ruins it. It takes so much out of the video. Really try and turn it off and try and find a solution where you don't have to have it on. As for resolutions and field of views and stuff, you've got two options really inside a car for me, which would be either 1080-60, so 1080p at 60 frames a second or 50, or 4K at the same, right? If you're going to try and run the GoPro for more than an hour and you need it plugged in or whatever, or just want to extend, you know, the battery or try and make sure it doesn't overheat, then 1080-30 on the new GoPros is really good and really lightweight, and it still looks fine, right? It still looks pretty good. The extra frames just make it look a little bit smoother when you're watching it back. Also, if you've got a high frame rate and using a wide angle lens, such as what I've started doing recently on like chin mounts and stuff, it looks pretty good, pretty entertaining. So yeah, the higher the frame rates, usually the better, but those settings are pretty subjective and you'll find out what works for you. Obviously you're just increasing the amount of pixels, right? But it makes the camera have to work harder, it makes the file sizes bigger, right? Your battery life and the heat's gonna go, battery life down, heat's gonna go up, so just use whatever you can. I try and go 4K 60 as much as what I can. But if it's a hot day and I'm gonna be using the camera for more than like 20 minutes, then yeah, I'll go down to 1080. Oh, just a final note, and this is true for GoPro or anything, right? Remember, it's a camera, okay? It's a camera, yeah? What does that mean? So it'll take a little bit of fettling to get the absolute best out of it, but these days, all of these like DJIs and the Instas and the GoPros, they're all got their own little kind of finicky fucking bollocks, but you can get a good picture these days out of all of them, right? You can. And yes, some people still use their phones to record. If you can invest in a GoPro, I think the GoPro 12, right, I've had 4, I missed the 5, 6, 7, 8. They were pretty rubbish. 5, 6, 8's not too bad. Pretty rubbish. 9 and above, pretty solid cameras. The 12 is the best by far. The 9 to the 12, it's basically the same camera, they just got a bit better, right? It's got a bit better as they went along. Oh yeah, if you're wondering how I've been recording the engine sound of this sweet, absolutely horrible sounding engine, trying to make it sound good somehow. There you go. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Anyway, that's all for this one. So yeah, comment down below. You've got questions and stuff like that. I'll try and help you, because I do want everyone's onboard footage to be that little bit better. But I think, yeah, the key points, like I say, mount it at eye level, right? Turn off stability and turn the exposure down. EV comp it's called on GoPros, it'll be called different stuff on different cameras, but there's your 3 golden rules. Like and subscribe. Thank you.